Good morning and welcome to the weekly business meeting of the South Carolina Public Service Commission. Today is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. It's approximately 11 a.m. Before we begin, would you please join me in a moment of silent reflection? Thank you very much. All commissioners are present here in the hearing room. Mr. Scarborough, would you please present today's docket?
Good morning, Chair Powers, Vice Chair Williams, and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the date of the next business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled Commission business meeting be set for Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 1 o'clock p.m.
The next regularly scheduled business meeting will be Thursday, October 9th at 1 o'clock p.m.
Thank you, sir. Today we have 10 items on the utilities agenda and 5 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 is in docket number 2025-193C. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 1, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant the application of DCB Dark Fiber LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide local exchange and inter-exchange telecommunication services in the state of South Carolina and for flexible alternative regulation, finding that it meets the requirements of South Carolina Code annotated section 58-9-280B. The South Carolina Telephone Coalition intervened in the matter and on July 11, 2025, filed a stipulation between DCB Dark Fiber and SCTC. The stipulation provides that, subject to the conditions set forth in the stipulation, SCTC does not oppose the application. In addition, the Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed the application and concluded that DCB Dark Fiber appears to possess the technical and managerial resources necessary to provide the services outlined in the application. ORS further indicates that it reviewed certain financial statements but makes no recommendations regarding the sufficiency of the company's financial resources to provide the services requested in the application. Ultimately, ORS does not object to approval of the application. I further move that the Commission grant the requested waiver of South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-607, 103-610, 103-611, and 103-631. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams.
I forgot to note that this item will have a full order on the matter.
And I think that would be proper. Having heard the motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2025-184C. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the Commission grant the application of Fiber Asset Co., LLC, for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide local exchange and inter-exchange telecommunication services in the state of South Carolina and for alternative and flexible regulation, subject to the stipulation between Fiber Asset Co., Crown Castle Fiber, and the South Carolina Telephone Coalition. I further move that the Commission grant the joint application of Crown Castle Fiber LLC and Fiber Asset Co. for approval of transfer of assets. The Commission shall issue a full order on this matter.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 appears in docket number 2025-250E. This is a revised proposed procedural schedule for this docket from Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC.
As to item number 3, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Britt.
on September 17, 2025, the Commission staff held a virtual status conference to discuss the procedural and discovery schedules with the parties of record. I move that the Commission consider the status conference, together with Duke Energy Carolinas' letter of September 26, 2025, as satisfying the pre-application meeting requirement set forth in South Carolina Code annotated section 58-37-120B as amended by Act 41 of 2025. I further move that the Commission adopt the revised procedural and discovery schedule submitted by Duke Energy Carolinas on September 26, 2025, following the pre-application meeting as a procedural schedule in this matter as follows. The event: application and direct testimony and exhibits filed October 30th, 2025. Application and direct testimony discovery deadline. Last discovery request at this phase issued by November 24th, 2025, and last responses due by December 12th, 2025. ORS and all other parties' testimony and exhibits deadline, December 19th, 2025. ORS and all other parties' testimony discovery deadline. The last discovery request at this phase issued by December 23rd, 2025, and last response or responses due by January 12th, 2026. Rebuttal testimony and exhibits due date, January 16th, 2026. Rebuttal testimony discovery deadline, last discovery request at this phase issued by January 22nd, 2026, and last responses due by February 2nd, 2026. Sir, rebuttal testimony and exhibits due date, February 4th, 2026. Sir, rebuttal testimony discovery deadline, last discovery request at this phase issued by February 6th, 2026, and last responses due by February 12th, 2026. The hearing date, January 28th, 2026. Attorneys only for procedural matters to be continued on February 25th, 2026, and reconvened February 25th or 26th of 2026. The statutory due date for commission order, April 28th, 2026. I move that the commission grant commission staff the authority to amend this procedural and discovery schedule as needed. Additionally, I move that the commission note that its approval of the proposed procedural schedule and discovery deadlines relates only to the case before us. This instant matter has no precedential effect. It is based solely on the issues presented in this matter before us at this time. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Brett. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Brett, is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belson?
I have a question of clarification if Commissioner Brett would entertain.
Yes.
When the hearing is reconvened in February, my understanding is that it would start on February 25th and continue until February 26th if needed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
Mr.
Commissioner Belson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2019-326E. This is a joint application from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of certain modifications to Appendix Duke CS to the South Carolina Generator Interconnection Procedures.
As to item number 4, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission approve the revisions to Appendix CS to the South Carolina Generator Interconnection Procedures as amended in Attachment A to the reply comments filed by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC. These revisions incorporate the 3 recommendations of the Office of Regulatory Staff and some recommendations of the Carolinas Clean Energy Business Association and are just, reasonable, and in the public interest. The specific recommendations proposed by SECEBA and agreed to by the Duke companies are as follows. The Duke companies agree to provide a generic E&P agreement or template to the public either as a practice or by request. The Duke companies agree that if Duke terminates an RFP winner's PPA or agreement to sell the generating asset to Duke for a project in the resource study cluster due to increases of upgrade cost estimates between the time of award and interconnection agreement, which results in the withdrawal of the project, Duke will not impose a withdrawal penalty. However, I further move that the commission adopt the position of Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association in regard to application of the revised Appendix Duke CS sections 4.3.1, 4.3.71, 4.3.8, and 4.4.1 to projects that are already in existing study clusters. Existing projects prior to the adoption of these changes shall be governed by the legacy terms of readiness and withdrawal penalties. Finally, I move that the commission ask the parties to submit proposed orders consistent with this directive by the close of business on October the 10th, 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is in docket number 2025-246E. This is a request from Santee Cooper for like facility determination of a new 230 kV switching station in the fold-in of the existing Charity Wynyah 230 kV line into the new switching station.
As to item number 5, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belson.
thank you. On August 28, 2025, the South Carolina Public Service Authority, also known as Santee Cooper, filed an application for Certificate of Environmental Compatibility and Public Convenience and Necessity, seeking a Certificate of Environmental Compatibility and Public Convenience and Necessity to construct and operate 2 dual-fuel aeroderivative combustion turbine generators and associated facilities at a brownfield site at the Wynyah Generating Station in Georgetown, South Carolina. Additionally, the application includes a request for like facility determination. This like facility request is the only matter that is before the Commission today. Santee Cooper asked the Commission to make a determination that the construction of a new 230 kV switching station at a brownfield site at the Wynyah Generating Station in Georgetown and the fold-in of the existing Charity to Wynyah 230 kV line into the new switching station constitute the replacement of an existing facility with a like facility, and therefore do not constitute construction of a major utility facility for which a certificate would be required under the Utility Facility Siting and Environmental Protection Act, which I will refer to as the Siting Act. The Siting Act provides that no person shall commence to construct a major utility facility without first having obtained a certificate. However, the replacement of an existing facility with a like facility, as determined by the Commission, shall not constitute construction of a major utility facility. That's in South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-33-110-1, as amended by Act 41 of 2025. The Siting Act further provides a like facility with reference to transmission facilities and without limitation includes any facility that represents the rebuilding, reconductoring, paralleling, increasing voltage, adding circuits, or otherwise reconfiguring of an existing transmission line or other transmission facilities, including, without limitation, projects to increase the capacity of such facilities, provided such facilities are located materially within a utility right-of-way or corridor, or substantially located on the property of a customer, prospective customer, or the state. The proposed 230 kV switching station and fold-in of the existing Charity to Wynyah 230 kV line into the new switching station are needed to interconnect the facilities to the Santee Cooper transmission system and to collect the power from the new combustion turbine generators and feed the power onto the Santee Cooper transmission system. The switching station will be located on approximately 3 acres of the existing Wynyah Generation Station site, and the fold-in, which is expected to be approximately 0.1 miles in length, will also be over the existing site. No new right-of-way will be required. I move that the Commission approve Santee Cooper's like facility request and find and conclude that the construction of a new 230 kV switching station at a brownfield site at the Wynyah Generating Station in Georgetown, South Carolina, and the fold-in of the existing Charity to Winyah 230 kV line into the new switching station as described in the application constitute the replacement of an existing facility with a like facility, and therefore do not constitute construction of a major utility facility for which a certificate would be required under the Siting Act. On October 1st, 2025, the Office of Regulatory Staff submitted its review letter to the Commission. While ORS did not object to the project, ORS did recommend that Santee Cooper file updates with the Commission and ORS on the project's progress and notify the Commission of and ORS when the project is completed. I move that the Commission find an order that Santee Cooper provide updates to the Commission and Office of Regulatory Staff every 3 months up to the completion of this like facilities project, and that Santee Cooper notify the Commission and ORS of the completion of this like facilities project within 10 days of its completion. I further move that this motion and the forthcoming order issued pursuant to this motion relate only to the request for like facility determination and do not relate to any other relief requested in the application and may not be relied upon as evidence or authority in regard to any other relief requested in the application. The parties in this docket are directed to provide a proposed order or orders as soon as possible, but no later than October 6, 2025 at 4 p.m. The Commission shall issue its full order outlining the details of its decision no later than October 12, 2025. I so move. Mr. Chairman, I
Thank
have
you,
a comment.
Commissioner Belcher.
I understand that the request for a proposed order or proposed orders is very short, but we do have a very tight statutory deadline on this matter, and ask that the parties work to accommodate our request for a proposed order. Thank you very much.
Certainly, I hope they understand that. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Belcher, is there any further discussion? The only thing I would say, Commissioner Belcher, thank you for your hard work on that particular case. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
And Mr. Chairman, if I might say, I appreciate your comment, but I had a lot of help from staff.
Thank them too.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2025-255WS. This is a request from CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for approval of an agreement with GC Services Limited Partnership, doing business as Intellogix.
As to item number 6, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Mr. Caston.
Thank you. I move that the Commission approve the master service agreement between CSWR, South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and GC Services Limited Partnership doing business as Intellogix. Additionally, I move that the Commission adopt the recommendation of the Office of Regulatory Staff and that the Commission order CSWR South Carolina to provide Intellogix staff with copies of all applicable South Carolina rules and regulations, including any amendments and updates. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2025-233G. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 7, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that this matter be carried over until the next commission business meeting.
All right. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 8 has been removed from today's agenda. Moving on to item number 9, it is in docket number 2025-278WS. This is a request from Daufuskie Island Council for an investigation of Daufuskie Island Utility Company's staffing, service reliability, and testing standards.
As to item number 9, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
September 24th, 2025, the Commission received a letter from the Secretary of the Daufuskie Island Council about serious concerns, community risk, and allegations concerning the problematic operation of the water and wastewater services provided by the utility, Daufuskie Island Water and Sewer Company, and infrastructure failures. The Daufuskie Island Council is seeking an investigation into the staffing, safety protocols, and compliance with state standards by the regulated utility, Daufuskie Island Water and Sewer Company. I move that the Commission ask the ORS, the Office of Regulatory Staff, to investigate the concerns and allegations raised by the Daufuskie Island Council. The Commission further asks for the Office of Regulatory Staff to prepare and provide a report to the Commission concerning its findings and recommendations, if any, related to the services and performance of the Daufuskie Island Water and Sewer Company, and for the Office of Regulatory Staff to share its report with and/or include any other applicable governmental agencies. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 10 appears in docket number 2025-247E. This item involves a proposed procedural and discovery schedule for this docket from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC.
As to item number 10, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Britt.
as directed by order number 2025-564 and as requested by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC, the Commission staff held a status conference on September 24, 2025 at 4 p.m. The purpose of the status conference was to discuss a possible procedural schedule, including discovery deadlines and a possible hearing date, with all parties of record related to the notice of intent by the joint applications to file the applications of DEC and DEP, DEP's 2024 competitive procurement of solar and co-located storage with the results of associated procurement activity pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 58-42-20G on or about September 30th, 2025, and the parties of record, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, Duke Energy Progress LLC, and Carolinas Clean Energy Business Association, and the Office of Regulatory Staff, they stated that they would work together to provide a revised procedural and discovery schedule to the Commission, reflecting the status conference discussion. On September 25th, 2025, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC submitted the following revised procedural and discovery schedule discussed during the status conference. I move that the Commission adopt the proposed discovery and procedural schedule and set the dates for completion of each phase of discovery as follows. Application filed with direct comments and information and exhibits September 30th, 2025. Application and direct comments discovery deadline November 20th, 25, with 10 business days before the intervenor direct testimony is due, thus making the discovery deadline November 20th, 2025, with responses due 10 days after service. ORS and all other parties comments due December 4th, 2025. ORS and all other parties comments discovery deadline December 15th, 2025, with discovery filed within 7 business days after ORS and other parties comments filed, thus making the discovery deadline December 15th, 2025, and responses due 7 days after service. Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress reply comments January 12th, 2026. Reply comments discovery deadline January 16th, 2026, with discovery filed within 4 business days after Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress reply comments filed, thus making the discovery deadline January 16th, 2026, with responses due 5 business days after service, and potential hearing or conference or ex parte briefing February 17th, 2026. Additionally, I move that the commission grant commission staff the authority to amend this procedural and discovery schedule as needed. Finally, I move that the commission note that its approval of the proposed procedural schedule and discovery deadlines relates only to the case before us. This instant matter has no precedential effect. It is based solely on the issues presented in this matter before us at this time. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Brett. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Brett, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda. In Part A, there is one application for a new Class C certificate. Item A1 is in docket number 2025-270T. This is the application of AASA Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
As to item A1, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve the application for Class C certificate in agenda item number A1 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. A directive order will be issued in the docket granting the motor carrier's application.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, there are 3 requests for extensions of time that the commission can address together. Item B1 is in docket number 2025-86T. This is a request from CNF Charter Service LLC for a 45-day extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. Item B2 is in docket number 2025-171T. This is a request from Caretha C. Brown, doing business as Penda Transport, for a 4-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. And item B3 appears in docket number 2025-107T. This is a request from All Around Auto Transportation Services LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and
As
regulations.
to items B1 through B3, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the request for extension in agenda items number B1 through B3 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. A directive order will be issued in each docket granting the motor carrier's request for extension.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Williams, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, there is one request to withdraw a request to suspend a certificate. Item C1 is in docket number 2006-32T. This is a request to withdraw the request to suspend Class E household goods certificate number 9756 for 6 months.
As to item C1, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
On September 9th, 2025, Gentlemen Movers Incorporated filed a voluntary request to suspend its Class E household goods certificate number 9756, and the matter was placed upon the Commission's motor carrier business agenda. The morning of September 18th, 2025, and prior to the scheduled afternoon business meeting of the Commission, Gentlemen Movers Incorporated submitted a written request asking for permission from the Commission to withdraw its pending request for a 6-month suspension. I move the Commission grant the request of Gentlemen Movers Incorporated to withdraw its request for suspension of its Class E household goods certificate number 9756. As a result of this action, Gentlemen Movers Incorporated continues to maintain a Class E household goods certificate number 9756, subject to compliance with the Commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough, and thank all of you who joined us. I would like to say I'm particularly happy that our Vice Chair, Justin Williams, has returned from military service and has rejoined us, and we are glad to have him back. We are adjourned.